something of a second home, and their biggest fight in life, they're finding, is to keep open the club they love so well.
He may only be 11, but Lewis Crocker has his future all mapped out.
Go to the Olympics in 2016 and win a gold medal, and then go on to turn professional and win a world title. I started at a young age. I'm just talented, so I am.
Big ambitions, but they're not unrealistic. There's previous boxing form in the Crocker family. Lewis's sister Alana, who also trained here at the Eastside Boxing Club, is a former European champion, so he knows the kind of effort needed to get to the top.
Sparring, pads, bags, speedball, runs every night, sit-ups, press-ups, everything.
It might not be much to look at, but this club is a breeding ground for success.
We've had champions in nearly every level. And from juniors and novices to seniors, you know, with boys boxing at every level. It's a big family here. The kids all get on well, there's no nonsense in them, and they all play, and, you know, and they look after each other, and they all try and help each other.
Alan Wilton founded the Eastside Boxing Club in a loyalist part of Belfast back in 1999.
Well, as you see, we made this ring. We had to cut this and build this ring to fit. It was a new ring, and then we had to cut it all down to fit. And then with 4 bags, a couple of balls, and a speed ball. That's it. You know, if the kids are sparring or anybody's sparring, you have to come through the ring to go to the other side. You know, same with the pads. Everybody's coming in and out all the time, you know, through the ring. But you get used to it, you know, and pad it around the wall to stop them hitting the walls. You know, and then the flooring's been renewed a whole lot of times because the roof leaks. We've renewed the roof a few times, but it just always leaks when it's raining, so we had to renew the flooring all the time. I take in my own pocket all the time for it, you know, to keep it going, you know. We had 200 grand secured from the Sports Northern Ireland, but they got their architects and stuff out to look at it, and they said it needed about 560 grand to do it up, knock it down and build a whole new complex here. But we had to put it back into the kitty because we couldn't secure the rest of the funding. Felt like just wrapping up all together, you know, and just close the door. When I come down and the place is full of kids, and you have 50, 60 kids, like, what are you going to do with them? They're out in the street, wee boys and girls, like, you know, big lads, you know, where do they go? You know, start running about the streets, taking drugs and drinking and hooding and doing all that. There's a flash point just down the street here at the bottom of our street, and it's always trouble, but it's not our kids, and our kids are never out there fighting and ratting, you know. They're in here training, and when they finish here, they go home to bed. They're too tired, you know. They don't. There's no nonsense with them. Like, they learn discipline with the boxing, and it's all good for them in later life, you know. They come back later on when they get older and they say, "Oh, hadn't been for you, like, where would it have been?" You know, someone come from one single parent families, mums and dads, you know, rear them, and this is the only thing they have.
13-year-old Hannah Shaw has been coming to Eastside since she was 10 years old.
So I was in a lot of trouble around the streets, and just took my mind off, you know, doing bad things. I was always hanging about the wrong crowd, and they were like getting into lots of trouble by smashing windows and all, and then I was getting blamed. I wouldn't say myself was a good boxer, but other people say I am. I've won the Ulster Championships and the Irish Championships.
16-year-old Anthony Nicky has only been with Eastside for a year. With 5 bouts under his belt, he's proud of his 100% success rate.
When I first started the gym, I was welcomed with open hands. You know, I was expecting when I come to the gym, they'd be like, who are you? What do you want? You know what I mean? But when I came over, I came and they told me straight to training. That's another person off the streets. Your friends and all, come on, let's go for a drink on Saturday night. You know, you just have to stay away from them. You know, and it's not like you don't stay away. You stay away from them fully. Like, of course you go with your friends, but you try not to drink.
Eastside Boxing Club is a second home to its members. They depend on it, and for that reason, Alan says he'll never give up and will keep on fighting the good fight.
We need help, but we're not going away. We're going to stay and stick it out. We've been here this long, so and we've produced champions after champions at this level, at the facilities we have. If we had better facilities, obviously we could produce better fighters, but it's working at the minute, and we just have to keep going the way we are.
And the fight to save that club is continuing. Perhaps you might be in a position to give a hand. Now, last year was a very good year for amateur boxing on the island of Ireland. Fighters north and south bagged medals in Beijing. And that, interestingly enough, came 60 years after Ireland's first ever Olympic medal win. That came in Helsinki. And the hero of the hour was one John McNally from Belfast. Well, his, we've got to admit, is a name which is little known outside the sport itself. And in fact, he's become known as the forgotten hero